Hi friends, myself Aniket Renavikar, Assistant Professor, Center for Distance Education, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. In the program MCOM Valuation of Real Estate in semester 3rd, the subject is Maintenance and Repairs of Buildings and Dilapidation. In that, the first topic is old masonry structures. So we can learn about the old masonry structures. Old structures have performed well compared to modern structures of present era. It is a myth or factual observation. Masonry structures are generally and mainly designed for gravity loads. Cross-sectional provisions are such that they offer major rigidity with substantiality surplus strength reserved for gravity loads. Due to their inherent weakness, they are prone to problems when dealing with lateral loads, tensile stresses, and flexural responses. This is in spite of extra cross-sectional provisions of these load-bearing masonry walls. Probably, this extra cross-sectional provision is the essence of longevity of these old masonry structures. Their stress levels are very low. Standard and reasonably sound old construction methods have permitted assured serviceability for long years of user needs. In spite of certain lapses compared to present technical norms in construction provision, these structures have performed well. This is in spite of certain provisions that these structures have performed well. This is in spite of aging or ongoing wear and tear, total lack of maintenance, etc. The masonry system of structures have generally remained satisfactorily responsive. In spite of decay of other materials provisions, particularly timber and steel, and their resulting effects on the masonry. The masonry system response depends upon the provisions of pillars, areas of load-bearing walls, locations, and extent of openings, lintel provisions above, wall construction, eccentricities, etc. What gets affected is the system of load transfer mechanism offered by flooring in the form of joists, beams, internal posts, columns, or combination of internal walls with external walls, etc. Some of the internal walls could be load-bearing, offering improved load sharing. Another temptation is additions, alternations, and extensions carried out by the occupants over their long association with structures. Additions of stories, enclosure terraces, choke closure, etc. are many common observations in old structures. This has aggravated with over-occupied area, overloading, and serious trend of depletion. For this, decay and damage over the user life, in that the main system is to permit gravity load transfer on the main load-bearing walls. The load transfer system in timber or and steel has undergone decay, deterioration, reduction in cross sections, erosion in the fiber strength, corrosion, cumulatively affecting load carrying capacity, leading to depletion in load carrying capacity. This in turn would impose load adjustments in the masonry structure mechanism. Locally, overloading takes place and load bearing transferred through flexural and rotational response. Thus, imbalance takes place, and this is reflected in the overloading in the form of local crushing, joint dislocation, plaster fallout, cracking, etc. This gets aggravated with weather vagaries, plumbing malfunctioning, permitting seepage, leakage, drying, and wetting, etc. These are ongoing observations continuously affected on the material and in the system of load transfer. There are various considerations for sound repairs. First, the best way to deal with structures in distress is to offer an alternative additional load transfer mechanism. Additional framing system, that is substitute framework, is well known technique which permits favorable response from the structure as it retains the balance of the system and it relieves the major load of the system. Second, it offers assured relief for the main old masonry system without affecting its balance. Most of the timber members would be noted to have localized decay at their bearing ends. They can be strengthened for achieving appropriate effective load transfer with structural steel sections. Deficiency in shear and flexural requirements can be made good with bolted steel sections locally. Bearing can be improved with concrete padding. Timber framework can be substantially improved with steel flexing using plates, angles, including specially developed brackets. All these techniques are fairly developed to achieve durable repairs without disturbing the balance of the structure. Most important is to avoid the need of replace these members. Also, over the years for large span structures, the strength reduction can be replenished with additional framework. Localized strengthening or an added members utilized them in combinations, etc. The most important aspect in local repairs which permit least disturbance and minimum cost. This is responded by the structures and liked by the occupants. The repair concept should be from post, beam to flooring and never in a reverse manner. What is being done now is absolutely in the wrong sequence. Flooring is replaced first, then beams are attended and then columns are treated. This process permits ongoing imbalance throughout the entire repair activity. The cumulative damage is certainly significant. However, its manifestation is slow but certain to act. This could be major reason why we have to deal with our structures for second and third phases earlier than contemplated. Improvement of load transfer system over opening is through appropriate lintel provisions. This is a common technique fairly well known to many of the contractors and consultants. Its effectiveness depends upon the type of bearing and padding provided to new lintels. Structural steel encased lintels are also common. Some specialization approach to repair problems are: first is cracks in masonry are easy to deal with using the advantage of affinity of cement bond with most of the masonry lines, that is stone, bricks, mortar, which is used in maximum structures. Sealing is easier if undertaken under trained guidance and by experienced contractors. After cracks are sealed, cement outing is another assured measure of sound results. RCC crack arrest is another useful technique to arrest damage and to achieve improved localized repairs. All these measures are most cost effective and yet major labor oriented. Somehow, a uniform and proper payment system is not developed so far due to costly varying turnover of same item of work in different situations. However, the structure and imbalance during such techniques in the list and results are durable. Now we have to decide option to select. In case of an urgency cement mortar, rolling followed by the grouting is another safe method. It is necessary to realize that structures have performed steel even and localized variable to moderate to damage. Why not only at these local needs rather than undertaking major surgery affected and damaging the structure?